Good morning, friends. I'm Mr. Henderson from Pre-K 3, and today we're going to read the story Mother Bruce. Let's look at the cover of the story. So, if I look at the cover of the story, I can tell that Mother Bruce must be a bear. And Mother Bruce's facial expression tells me that Mother Bruce is not elated, but I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the story. There's not much details I can get from this front cover. I just see Mother's Bruce's face, but I'm curious. I would like to know what's going to happen in the story. Mother Bruce. Oh, if I look closely, you can see on top of the word Bruce over here. Look closely. There's something there. Let's read and see if we can see what that is. Ryan T. Higgins is the author and illustrator of the story. The author is the person that writes the words in the story, and the illustrator draws the pictures. Bruce was a bear who lived all by himself. He was a grump, so Bruce was not very pleasant and he always complained. He doesn't look elated, look at him. And he lives by himself. He did not like sunny days. He did not like rain. He did not like cute little animals. Bruce only liked one thing: eggs. He collected them from all over the forest. Good morning, Mrs. Sparrow. But Bruce didn't eat eggs raw like other bears, so he did not eat them uncooked. Instead, he cooked them into fancy recipes that he found on the internet. So, recipes are a set of instructions that you can find, and usually it will list the ingredients that you need to cook things, like a special dish. And you can see there he found it on the internet. He's searching on a computer. The internet is a network that provides a variety of information. One day, Bruce came across a recipe for hard boiled goose eggs drizzled with honey salmon sauce. So he went out to get the ingredients. So he has to go get the things that he needs to make the dish. First, he caught a few salmon. So you can see it right there. And salmon is a type of fish. So he has to get the salmon in order to make the dish that he's trying to prepare that he found on the internet. Then he collected honey from a local beehive. He liked to support local business, you see. Last, he went to Mrs. Goose's nest to pay her a visit. He said, "Are these eggs free range organic?" At home, Bruce prepared the eggs for hard boiling. So you can see Bruce, he is putting the eggs on the water because he's going to boil them. And if you have an egg and would like to boil it, you have to put it on water and it will cook what's inside of the egg. But the fire in his stove fizzled, so it made like a noise, a sizzling noise. So he went to get more wood. When Bruce came back, he was met with an unwelcome surprise. I wonder what will meet Bruce when he comes back. Look at Bruce. He's going back with the wood. Let's see. Mama, Mama, look at Bruce. Bruce became the victim of mistaken identity. So they don't recognize Bruce. They think he's someone else. They're yelling, "Mama, Mama." And Bruce is like, "Wait, what's happening here? I was coming back to my eggs that were boiling, and he came back to some geese saying, 'Mama, Mama.'" Bruce wanted hard boiled eggs, not goslings, and goslings are young geese. And they're looking at Bruce, and Bruce is looking at them, and he's like, "Wait, what's happening here?" He supposed he could settle for butter goslings on toast, but for some reason he lost his appetite. So he's not hungry anymore. Bruce scooped up the little geese and stomped back to their nest. I will have to ask Miss Goose about her return policy, only to find Mrs. Goose had flown south early. So when he went back to go return them, there was a note that was left. It said, "Be back in April." And she signed Mother Goose. Bruce left the goslings there anyway and went back home. So Bruce is going to return home and he left them there. Mama, Mama. But he was followed. They're walking behind him. And Bruce was very stern and said things like, "Go away, and I'm not your mother. And also, I liked you better when you were eggs." But remember, Bruce, let's go back to the previous page. When he returned with the wood, they yelled, "Mama, Mama." He was a victim of mistaken identity, so they think that he's someone else. So maybe that's why they're following him. They won't let him go anywhere. They're like, "Hey, wait, you are our mom." Bruce could not take it no longer and became extra grumpy with them. Wow, he's not very happy with what's going on. And they're looking like, "Wait, why are you acting like this? You are our mom." It didn't work. Goslings always follow their mother, even if she is a he and he is a bear. Mama, Mama. Bruce was stuck with them. He tried to make the best of it. So look at that. He put them in a pool. Looks like he's going to join them. And he's like, "I might as well make the best of this." It was hard work. So he has to play with them. He has them in a chair trying to feed them. He has to put them to sleep. And I can tell by looking at these illustrations that the goslings are very dependent on Bruce. They're Look, they depend on him to hold him. They want Bruce to feed them, to put them to sleep, and they are very dependent, especially because they're so young. As the seasons pass, Bruce watched the pesky goslings grow older. So they are getting on Bruce's nerves. They are so annoying. Look at them. They are annoying baby geese. And then they're transitioning, meaning they're going into another stage. Now they are teenagers. And now they are born adult geese. Then, one fall afternoon, he saw other goose families flying south. So they're migrating, meaning that they're going to another region where it actually is warm because maybe it's fall, so the weather's starting to change. The weather's starting to transition, like it's changing now in our community. It's changing here, and so the goose families are flying south where it's warmer. Finally, he said, "You know what? I am going to get these geese to take a long winter nap." Bruce explained migration. So migration again, guys, is when animals they go from one region to another when the seasons change. But they didn't listen. Bruce needed the geese to leave, so he got creative. Look, he's got creative. He's thinking maybe if I take this and put them on a tree, kind of like a slingshot, I can get them to fly with the rest of the families. Nothing worked. The geese would not leave Bruce. So they don't want to leave. And I bet they don't want to go because they are probably so dependent on Bruce, and they've also gotten attached to him. Bruce like, what can I do to get rid of them? So Bruce decided to pack some bags and take his geese into town. They boarded a bus. So they got on a bus because they're going to take a trip. I'm curious to see where they're going to go. And they migrated to Miami. Oh, look at that. So they went to a place that's actually warmer and it's going south. So Miami's in Florida where the weather is typically warm, it's sunny, and Bruce is probably thinking if I can just get them to go to Miami, I can take me a long nap. Now, every winter, Bruce and his geese hit south together. They laze about at the beach in tacky shirts, sipping ice cold lemonade while Bruce dreams of new recipes. Recipes that don't hatch. So he's looking for recipes that he can, things that he can make, and he's like, you know what? They're not going to hatch. And look at that turtle. The turtle said, Mama, just when he thought he could get rid of the animals following him, now the turtle's saying, Mama, Mama. So my question is, why do you think the goslings are hanging around Bruce so much? Why do you think they won't go away? Share your response with your teacher. I'm curious to hear. Have a great day, guys. Bye.